more cussy than most people. Kind of have a little sailor thing. Okay, so here's what. So I have Frank Ocean up there, but yesterday when I was going to do this, I had Sabrina Carpenter because I have a good story. Oh, let me make sure my little mic thing is on. Okay, don't talk over me because I'm taping and I'll yell at you and it'll be awkward. And look, I made it right there so you guys can watch I did, so my butt's on your face. Did I tell you about Lollapalooza, my daughter? No? So my daughter lives in Chicago, right? And Lollapalooza is like the Coachella of Chicago. And her best friend's brother was a tour manager. And maybe anyone, let's see if anyone knows this guy, Mark Arbor. Has anyone heard of that guy? Okay, so he ran his tour. So Caroline got the ticket or passes. She got the all access artist pass to Lollapalooza. Like she could be anywhere where artists could be. She said it was the weirdest thing. She felt like a total imposter. And she said that influencers are terrible people because she kept like seeing these influencers. But at one point they went to see Sabrina Carpenter, right? And when you go as an artist pass, you go in this area. So like the stage looked like this. So here's Sabrina Carpenter's stage. And there are these things over here. And they are so VIP is over here and artist passes are over here. So you are up the same level and you are watching, maybe it's facing more like this, something like this. So anyways, you're there. So you're all the rest of the like the, cheap people are all right there, like all 40,000 of them. And like, she's like right here. So here's Sabrina, she's singing, yay, yay, yay. And so at the end, they leave like this, right? Or they actually leave like this, and that she leaves like this, and they go to this thing, this area called the Artist Village, and it's where like the artists, they go to their dressing rooms back there, they go to get food or whatever. So Caroline and Sarah, her best friend, have to go out that way, and then they leave to go something else. So at one point, she's walking out, and she loses Sarah, like her and Sarah kind of like right next to each other, like not quite holding hands. And so she's so cute. She turns around to reach behind her for Sarah, and she's kind of like touches someone, and they kind of turn, and it's not Sarah, it's Sabrina Carpenter. Like she goes to like, it's like, oh, sorry. And it was like, no. So weird. So in our little, so that was my daughter's gonna, brush with fame. But in my little example, let's say Caroline actually met Sabrina, and they chatted it up, and Sabrina said, hey, I'll come to Northgate just because I want to be in the Bay Area, and I'll do a concert in your gym. I want it indoors one night, and you can charge $10 a person, and you can keep the money. And Caroline's like, cool, that's a deal. So my question to you talk to your neighbors, can Caroline make $1 million? Talk to each other, ready, go. Yeah. Well, and I say, even if she talks to people outside the store, I think the problem is finding the gym, right? So guess what? I'm hearing you all say that sweet Caroline can make a good amount of money, but she can't make $1 million. And here's why. She's got to fit these people in the gym, right? And my guess is the most people we can fit in the gym here at Northgate, maybe standing room only, maybe 2,500, maybe probably less, maybe 2,000. That is our domain. In real life, it can't go forever. She could have 0 people show up because everyone thinks, I don't want to see Sabrina Carpenter. Why you wouldn't want it for $10? I would. Or she could have maybe 2,000. That's all our domain. Our domain in real life matters. Here's something else that Caroline can't have come to the concert. She can't have ghosts come. Well, she can, but she won't really know if they come. What am I talking about there? I think of that as negative people, right? So we aren't going to have negative 200 people there because really we can't account for ghosts. So in real life, domain really matters, because if you're like, my domain is everything. It's like, it's not. It is 0 people to 2,000, which means our range is $0 to $20,000. So domain and range matter when we start talking about real life situations. When we are looking at problems that look like this, no, the domain and range is goofy, right? We just practice doing it. But if you're thinking, why do we do it? Why do we write domain and range? Because in real life, there are boundaries on stuff. You can't have, COVID can't go up and up and up and up and up. Eventually, we will all get it and we will get immunities. And like, that's why it just doesn't go forever, right? Because there are boundaries on stuff. So we're talking about that today. You have done this before. You're not great at it, either in Algebra 2 trig or Algebra 2. So let's take another day. We're going to do just 3 examples. I made 6. Why? Because I never know how fast I'm going to go. So are you guys ready? Let's look at our first example. Let's do this. You ready, rock and rollers? Nice and easy. Here we go. We are going to do the domain and range. I am going to show you both ways because there are 2 ways to do it. I am going to tell you after today, you can decide one way or the other. I am a certain type of girly and I will only do them one way. But Mrs. Weinstock really was the other type of girly. So if you like what we're going to call set builder notation, go crazy. Just do it right. If you are an interval notation person, do that. I don't care. Just do it correctly. So let's do it. You ready? We're going to do number 1. And we're going to start with domain. And we're going to do domain in 2 different ways. We're going to do it set builder, which I think is harder. And then we're going to do it in interval, right? So here's what. As Americans, we are better at domain. And you're like, what the holy hell? That seems a little racist, Miss T. And you're going to see why I mean that. Domain is the stuff that goes along the X line. It's your boundaries. And the reason that domain is easier is because it goes little to big, which is left to right. And that's what we read. We read in English left to right. So when we do domain, we're going to want to have the smallest number all the way to the biggest number. Now, when we do set builder notation, it looks like this, and you've got to be pretty careful. It's a bracket. And then we write X such that. That's what that stupid line means. And then we're going to give the inequality. We're going to say the littlest number is negative 30. That's the smallest we're going to get. We're going to get all the way to 10, and X is going to live somewhere in between that guy. We're going to close it up. Now, here comes the part that we need to do. We need to put our little alligator mouths in there, and we know that it's X is going to be bigger than this guy, but smaller than this guy. Now, you're ready almost to say, are we done? Not quite yet. We have to decide if we put that bar underneath. So if it's an open dot, it's an open area. If it's a closed dot, we draw that extra line in there. And there we go. That is domain. Do I like this method? I do not, because I'm lazy. So interval notation says, guess what? I already have the D, and I will have the D. So do I need to put the X on? No. I just know I'm going to go from negative 30 all the way to 10. And you're like, okay, but how do I know if it's closed dot or open dot, Miss T? Here's how. If it's a closed dot, it's super solid, like it's a solid barrier, like a wall. And if it's an open dot, it's soft and gentle, like that. Do I like this one better? I do. Do I need you to be able to do both tonight? Yes. And then after that, you do you. Okay, let's do our friend range. Range is hard for us as Americans. And you're like, again, with the racist thing. Here's why. Range is our top and bottom barrier. Our top and bottom barrier. But listen to how I'm even saying that. I am calling it the top and bottom barrier, but that's not how it works. It's bottom to top. It's low to high. But as Americans, we read top to bottom. So you all, if you're going to miss range, you're going to miss it right here, because you need to think about it not like we read, but like an elevator. We start at the bottommost floor. We're going to start down there at -4. And our elevator is going to go up, 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 all the way to 2. So I need you to think of it like an elevator. Let's do set builder notation. Let's put that Y in there. We know this guy goes like this. We're going to actually have an open dot at the 4 and a solid dot at the 2. We need to say, here it goes, Y such that, and then we need to end it up. Ooh, that bracket was good. Same thing with interval notation. Nice and easy. We're going to say -4 to 2. Love this for me. Soft and hard. But that's where people mess up. All year long, this is where you'll mess up. Because without thinking, you'll just go 2 to 4. 2 to -4. You just will. So you got to really work on that. Okay, so here we go. I want you to try this one on your own. I want you to do both. Domain, domain. Range, range. Give it a shot. Present. That is different now? Oh, you need another one. That's you said you have an extra one here, so it will come like gosh. As you're doing this, look at your neighbors. Again, see if they're pretty smart or both. Love the multicolored like that. You're on fire there. Ooh, you picked the farthest one up. You are. This is not a function. Good question. We're good. Without that stupid 0 one, just ignore him. Yep. Yeah, good question. This is not actually a function. But that's okay. He's just a little bit more interesting. He can still have a domain or range, even if he's not a function. So I'm going to go ahead and put the answers up, and you can take a look and see how you did. I'm going to start by drawing my little barriers in. I am going to start, on this one, I'm going to start with interval, because why not? -3, ooh, let's make that prettier. -3 all the way to 1, and good and good. A good question on this one. Someone asked, well, what about this dot? Guess what? We overpower him. So he's part of it. We already know he's part of it. Just keep on going. Go to your barriers, right? That's our barriers. We want to make sure our barriers are in there. Here comes, so like I said, last night I did your homework, and whenever I had to do set builder, I cried tiny tears, because I literally, like, I have to think about it. Like, I just don't do it as naturally as I do the other one. One. Does that look right? That's okay? Yeah, am I good? Okay, let's look at our range. Now again, remember we've got a elevator. Lowest point is at this negative, it's like 2 basements down, all the way to the 4th floor, but you can't actually get to the 4th floor, because maybe that's where the fancy people live. So you can get close to the 4th floor, you can't actually get out on the 4th floor. So here we go. Let's start with interval, because I feel like doing that right here. Let's see. I'm going to start at -2, solid dot, all the way to 4, open dot, and set builder Y such that -2 less than or equal to y, which is less than 4. And I think that's it. How did I do? Okay, we're going to get a little weird here, and then I'm going to shut up. This is my last piece, and then you'll have time to work on some stuff in class, and I'm cutting it way down. So here you go, because you're looking at that thing that I passed out, and you're like, that's a lot, and we're not doing that. That much. Don't ever start the homework early. Well, you can, but then it's always funny when I'm like, skip the first 7, and you're like, I'm on number 6. I'm like, because you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. So just give me a hot minute, and I'll tell you what we're doing. We are doing this one. Find this bad boy. Ooh, this is a little scary. So here's what I want to remind you. You know what this means? Yeah, that means it's going on forever. It's going to have some infinity action happening there, right? So this line is going to be going up forever, and it's actually very slowly going this way forever. So just as a quick reminder, this would be infinity. This is negative infinity. This is positive infinity, and this is negative infinity, right? So we're going to have some infinities on this one. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a third way to write it for my friends who think who are juniors, who might be heading to calc next year, because there's an even more sophisticated way to write this, but we're going to get there. So let's start with our domain. Let's start with our domain. I'm going to start easy because I'm lazy. So I'm going to say on this one, be careful. Remember, we're going from here all the way negative. So I'm going to start at negative infinity, go over, and stop at negative 15. So on interval, do we actually ever touch infinity? We don't. And once I get to 15, hard stop, hard stop. Now, if you want to use Set Builder and use this exact setup, you can. Here's what it would look like. I'm not going to pick that up. I'm going to say domain is the set of numbers where x is such that, here we go, negative infinity less than x less than or equal to negative 15. Boom. Now, here is the fancy way. Now, if you're good here, I don't want your brains to explode, but for some of you, I'm going to show you an even better way to write it. If you have an infinity with Set Builder, you can do it 1/3 way. And I like this way. X such that you start with the variable. If you are heading this way, then X is the big guy. But we're not. We're heading this way. So I want every number for X that is less than or equal to negative 15. Are you with me on that? Right? This is the sophisticated way to write it. It is the most clean, and in math they call that elegant, right? Is this wrong? No. Is this wrong? No. But is this kind of a little bit more, you know, like kind of a grown-up way to do it? Yes, right? So if you're ready for that, you can do that. I think on the answer key I wrote both, I think. I may not have. Okay, so let's try doing range. Range on this one is a little bit easier, actually. So I would like you, with your neighbors, to try writing it in all 3 versions. And then I'm going to shut up. Remember range, we start down here and we head up to infinity. This one's tricky. Got it? Yeah, okay. I'm just asking. Okay, here comes the big finish. What I'm saying on this last one here's what I'm going to do if I want to get fancy. Y such that y is every number bigger than -2. So y is every number bigger than -2. Can I see just, I'm not judging you, just out of curiosity, can you give me a little wiggle of fingers if you were able to do this last one? Can I see a wiggle of fingers? About half of you. That's totally cool. That's totally cool. Do you, yeah.
I switched up. I read it -2 is less.
You can do that, but what we say in math is convention, and convention is that we put the variable first, right? So is it wrong? No, but it's kind of like, you know, my name is Dana Tarantino. We don't call me Tarantino Dana. It's not wrong, right? But it's just convention, right? Good question. That was a great question. Okay, I'm done talking at you. Get your purple worksheet out. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You guys got it? So what you're going to do on the odd ones, I want set builder. So write that down. Odd set builder. Even set builder is the scary one. The even interval. And guess what? I want you to do 5 on the first page, 5 on the second page. Do I care what 5? I do not. Did I obviously give you way more than that? I did. I gave you like 18. And do I need you to do 18? No, I need you to do 5 and 5. Right? I just need you to beat practices. Are we cool with that? Will I check this on Monday? I will. The answer key is on your desk. It's in the white little thing. I meant to do purple, but the test machines weren't working today, so I was very crabby. So the answer key is on there, and it will be in Google Classroom by the time you get home. So if you want to practice these Monday morning, because don't lie to me, you're not doing these Friday night, if you want to check them as you go. But again, as always, homework in my class is only valuable as a learning tool, really, because you see that I don't go over it a ton. If you have a question on it, I will help you. But this is the minimum amount of practice for you to be good at this, right? If you can do 10 of these, you can do both ways, you got it. But if you don't get that minimum amount of practice in, there's a good chance you don't really know it, right? Unless you're Todd Plummer, and you know, who's that good? Okay, I'm done talking. Goodbye. Bye.